Welcome to Hidden Treasures, Journey through the medieval villages of Italy. In this thrilling series, we will take you on a discovery of one of Italy's most precious and fascinating treasures, the medieval villages. Often overlooked by modern travelers, these ancient villages encapsulate a rich history, art, and culture dating back centuries. Nestled in the picturesque Italian countryside, medieval villages are living testimonies of a bygone era where life flowed at a different pace, and ancient walls tell tales of adventures, love, and conquests. Join us as we explore cobblestone streets, admire majestic towers, and marvel at the beauty of centuries-old churches. Through this journey, we hope to transport you back in time and unveil the authentic essence of medieval Italy. Get ready to be captivated by the hidden treasures of Italian medieval villages, where every corner is a discovery and every stone tells a millennia-old story. Italian medieval villages have ancient roots dating back to the medieval period when they were founded for defensive, commercial, and agricultural purposes. These fortified villages often stood on hills or strategic positions to defend against external attacks and ensure the safety of their inhabitants. The early forms of masonry in medieval villages were mainly composed of local stones cut or worked by hand and bonded together with mortar, a mixture of lime, sand, and water. This construction technique, called exposed stone masonry, gave the villages a rustic and sturdy appearance characterized by thick and solid walls. Medieval houses were usually multi-story, with the residents' dwellings situated on the upper floors and commercial or artisanal spaces on the ground floor. The streets were narrow and winding, often surrounded by defensive walls and watchtowers. Additionally, medieval villages also included other strategically important buildings such as churches, castles, or noble palaces, which contributed to shaping the character and identity of the village. These architectural features reflected the social and military organization of the medieval era and provided tangible evidence of the lifestyle and traditions of the communities of that period. Italian medieval villages exhibit extraordinary diversity in structures and characteristics, each reflecting the natural and cultural environment in which it was founded. While some villages rise on steep hills surrounded by imposing defensive walls, others extend along riverbanks or cling to mountain slopes. The streets of medieval villages are often narrow and winding, designed to deter enemy attacks and offer protection to the inhabitants. The houses, built with local stone and materials available on site, overlook small squares and alleys, creating an intimate and welcoming atmosphere. At the heart of medieval villages are often the main squares, surrounded by public buildings, churches, and bell towers. These squares were the bustling hubs of social and religious life in the villages, where markets, fairs, and community celebrations took place. Each medieval village has its own story to tell, and through its structure and architecture, one can grasp a fragment of the identity and culture of its people. Through the diversity and unique characteristics of Italian medieval villages, one can explore a world rich in charm and beauty, a witness to centuries of history and tradition. Italian medieval villages are hidden treasures of art and architecture, guardians of precious artworks reflecting centuries of history and culture. The medieval churches in particular are veritable open-air art galleries, enriched with frescoes, paintings, and sculptures of great artistic and historical value. Within these churches, one can admire masterpieces by renowned artists such as Giotto, Michelangelo, and Caravaggio, who have left an indelible mark of their genius on these millennia-old walls. Medieval villages also host superb examples of Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque architecture, harmoniously blending with the surrounding landscape. But it's not only the churches that hold artistic treasures. The squares, palaces, and streets of medieval villages are adorned with unique artworks, telling stories of everyday life, religion, and power. Every corner of the medieval villages is a discovery, an invitation to delve into the art and history of a bygone era. Through the beauty and artistic richness of Italian medieval villages, one can embark on an exciting journey into the heart of Italian art and culture, discovering hidden treasures that have withstood the test of time and continue to inspire and fascinate today's visitors. Italian medieval villages have experienced phases of growth and change over the centuries, adapting to changing social, political, and economic conditions. Initially founded for defensive and agricultural purposes, many villages thrived, becoming important commercial and cultural centers during the medieval period. The expansion of medieval villages was often influenced by crucial historical events such as crusades, wars between city-states, and the dynamics of feudal politics. Some villages saw an increase in population and urban development, while others were abandoned due to famines, epidemics, or armed conflicts. Despite the challenges and difficulties encountered along the way, many medieval villages have survived to this day, preserving their charm and authenticity. Today, many of these villages have become renowned tourist destinations, attracting travelers in search of adventure and historical discoveries. The growth and evolution of Italian medieval villages reflect the resilience and creativity of the communities that inhabited them over the centuries, and through their history, we can better understand the social and cultural fabric of medieval Italy and its influence on European history. Italian medieval villages played a fundamental role in the country's history, influencing political, social, and economic events that characterized medieval Italy and beyond. During the Middle Ages, many medieval villages were important centers of political and commercial power, controlling trade routes and serving as safe havens during wars and invasions. The strategic position of the villages, often located on hills or naturally defensible positions, made them crucial during armed conflicts. During wars between city-states and clashes between rival factions, medieval villages served as fortifications, defending their inhabitants and providing refuge for marching troops. Furthermore, medieval villages were often the scene of historical conflicts and decisive battles that shaped the course of Italian history. Places like Civita di Bagnoregio, with its isolated location and imposing defensive walls, have endured centuries of conflicts and contributed to the defense and protection of local populations. The importance of medieval villages in Italy's history is also evident in their influence on culture and national identity. These ancient villages are custodians of centuries-old traditions, art, and architecture that reflect the richness and diversity of Italian history. Through their history of resilience and determination, Italian medieval villages have become symbols of the strength and determination of the Italian people in defending their land and cultural heritage. Today, Italian medieval villages are much more than mere relics of the past. They are vibrant cultural centers and thriving communities that continue to influence modern life in the country. Despite centuries since their founding, medieval villages maintain their beauty and authenticity, attracting tourists and residents alike. These ancient villages have become icons of Italian culture, celebrated for their historic architecture, artisanal traditions, and the hospitality of their inhabitants. Many medieval villages have been restored and preserved, allowing visitors to immerse themselves in the unique atmosphere of the past and discover the wonders of centuries past. In addition to being popular tourist destinations, medieval villages are also centers of cultural and artistic activities, hosting festivals, exhibitions, and events that celebrate the richness of Italian culture. Local communities actively engage in the preservation and promotion of their villages, ensuring that future generations can continue to enjoy these precious testimonies of the past. The legacy of Italian medieval villages is a national treasure that continues to inspire and fascinate, a witness to a rich and varied history that has shaped Italy and its people. Through their timeless charm and timeless beauty, medieval villages invite us to reflect on our past and celebrate our unique cultural identity.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing for more fascinating explorations and insights. Your support is greatly appreciated.